Hi, it's 116 Pigeon website. My name is Ruby in Harbin. Today's subject is feeding and management. We're gonna share with you the racing system and racing loft training systems. Here we are in Belgium, Luxembourg province. Visit Boris Burniat.
Hello everybody, my name is Boris Burniat.
When do you build your loft?
So my dad built the first one, this one, in 1997, and then we make it bigger. This was the other one in 1999, and then in 2004 I bought this one for the youngsters, but then after it became for the 1-year-old birds, and in 2010 the last one was this one.
Boris, could you please introduce your loft to us?
Yes, so the first one here is for the long distance, and especially for the old birds, right? There are spaces for 40 of us, but there are not 40. And then this one is used for young birds. The other one here is this one. I usually use it for yearlings, so 1-year-old cocks, and there is a mix between middle distance and long distance cocks. The 3 sections there is devoted for middle distance, and mostly only old birds. The other 2 sections are used as well for young birds, and these are aviaries for breeders.
请问博里斯主要参加什么样距离的比赛 ？What distance race you are your favorite in?
Well, I would say that I like racing every week, so from 100 to 800 kilometers. But nowadays there are less and less fencers and so on, and I don't have so much time, so I decided to focus on rather long distance, and especially 3 races. This is Valence, Montélimar and Marseille.
Okay, Boris, since you like the long distance favorite the most, how many races you have for long distance?
I have, as I said to you before, I have 40 old cocks, or place for 40 old cocks. But this season I only have 30 of them.
How about yearling? Will they join long distance race?
It depends on the season, right? On the races. Maybe some of them will join as well 1 or 2 long distance, such for instance Narbonne.
Okay. How many yearling races you have?
Oh, there are also about 40 yearling for long distance.
Boris, could you share about the racing systems you use?
So, the cocks are paired before the season, so you can see that they are with their hands, and they will be able to stay with them until the hen lays eggs, and they can brood a few days, and then they will be separated for the rest of the season. They can only see their hens before and after the race. And after the season, they are put again together and they can have a nest together, and sometimes they also can raise a youngster. It depends on the weather, on my time, and so on. And on my mood, I would say.
When do you put the racers in the racing loft?
In the racing loft?
Yeah.
Well, they are the whole year in the racing loft. They stay there.
The hens also?
No, cocks stay the whole year in the racing loft, but the hens are just there just before the racing season. Just now, for instance, they are paired with the cocks, and hens go back to the loft for every race, before and after. But cocks are separated from hens during the week.
How long your racers can stay with the hens?
So before the racing season, like now, they can stay, I would say, between 2 or 3 weeks time. Well, when the hens laid, they can brood about 5 or 10 days maximum, and then they are going to be separated. And during the racing season, at the beginning of the racing season, they don't stay so much after the race with the hen, but the further the season is, or the harder the race is, they can stay a bit longer. And it depends also on my mood or my feeling. It depends if I have enough time to let them with their hands or not, right? There is no fixed system, I would say.
Okay. How do you training the pigeons before the season?
So before the season, pigeons are liberated every day, once a day in the morning, and they can fly as much as they want. If they fly well, it means that they are in good conditions. If they don't fly enough, you have just to wait or check if everything is all right. And before the racing season, I usually train them, I don't know, it depends on the weather, but between 2 or 5 times I give a toss.
For self-training, will you drive them out by yourself before season?
So, all birds I don't do it so much because I'm afraid of losing some of them because of the bird of prey. But for yearlings, for instance, I do it between 2 or 5 times, between 10 and 20, 25 kilometers. And then they go immediately to the club.
How do you do the young bird training?
So before training, young birds must fly very good at home. And for that you shouldn't give them too much fat. They have to be in good condition. And when they are in good condition and when they are flying as much as they want, then I start the first toss. And I start, for instance, I just put them in the basket and liberate them at the end of the village. Because I noticed that young birds are usually quite afraid the first times. And then when they are a bit more confident with the boxes, I go a bit further. And if they come quite rapidly, then the next time I go a bit further again and again and again, just to reach the distance of 20-25 kilometers.
When starting to train a youngster, will you force them to learn how to fly?
Yeah, I think it's a good point to oblige them or to force them to fly, but I think that if you want to win good prize, the pigeons have to show you that they are in good condition. And pigeons in good conditions won't be obliged to fly. They fly by themselves. They like to fly.
What do you give for the feeding during seasons?
So during the racing season, they've got a sport mixture combined with a lighter mixture. And they have more sport mixture at the end before being raced. And during 2 races, they have some food which is light. Just to make sure that pigeons are able to eat as much as they want and as many as they want. Because the thing is that pigeons need to eat as much as they can, as long as they can. So I mean that before being basketing, I'm always afraid that pigeons don't eat enough. That's the reason why I combine this mixture and put more or less lighter food in the mixture. So they've got also this mixture, but just after eating their lunch. This is like children dessert.
Here's something you will give to pigeons.
So they've got minerals every day,
Yeah.
like this one. And for the racing season, they've got vitamins with that on the food, 2 or 3 times a week.
Is there something we need to pay attention during racing?
Yes, of course. I particularly pay attention to how the pigeon train. This is their way to tell you which condition there are. It's important for me. That's it, and I'm quite really confident when they train well. Observation is really, really, really important.
If you like our video, please like, subscribe and share. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.